Right, so object-oriented programming is a different style of programming. You can use it within everything you've currently been doing, but this can take a bit to get your head around if you've never seen anything like this before. However, the power of it when you get your head around it and you start using it is amazing. The difference it can make to your programs is brilliant. And when you get to A level, currently A level, it might change by the time we're using these videos in a couple of years, but this is a sort of expectation in the way you code for the sort of top grades. You should be using object-oriented programming for a lot of things. So to go through the concept of it is that you can create objects from classes. Okay, so if you think of a class like a factory, okay, so you think of making cars, objects will be the cars that come out, but every object is unique and individual. So what we've got here is we've got a character class. So this is going to make characters, okay? And it's got some attributes. Don't worry too much about the code, so I'm going to go slower in some of the videos, but I'm just trying to show you it working. So each character is going to have a name, a role, power, health. It's going to be alive to true at the start. It's going to have a bag that can put items in. And that's a looping through of pending items that are passed to it. So this is known as the constructor, but that's a different video. Now here, what I'm doing is you see I've got a variable called hero, and I'm making a character. I'm calling that class, and I'm passing it a load of attributes. So see, Rick becomes the name. The role is hero. It's got 50 power, 100 health, and it's got 2 items, a house key and a HP pack, which are going to go into the character's bag. All right, which the bag is a data structure. I'm using a list. And then Rick is just because I think I watched Walking Dead last night, but it doesn't matter. Villain, we've got a character which is Bob Bobbington. He's a villain. He's got a power of 20 and a health of 100. Okay, so he's a bit rubbish. But and then what I can do is I can print out, I can access individual things. So hero, remember, is my variable. Look, so I can print out just the hero's name, which if I run it, the hero's name is Rick. So I can access individual attributes from each character. So if I change the villain's name, villain, that'll say it's Bob or Bob Bobbington. It now says the hero's name, but that's because that's hard coded there, but you get the idea. So that is why you do objects. So if you imagine more complicated things you might do in programming when you I don't know who's watching the video, but let's say you get to A level and you're making a proper independent programming project. You might make something like, I don't know, a particle simulator or something like that. If you imagine you've got lots of particles bouncing around your screen, every particle is unique. It might have its own size, its own color, its own speed. It's going to definitely have different position on the screen at that moment, an X and Y coordinates. So using objects is the best way to do it, because you don't want hundreds and hundreds of variables. You can have one factory that will make you as many objects as you want. So I've got one factory here, which is characters, that can make me very easily 100 zombies or one hero or one villain or whatever. So this factory will output characters for me. So that's object-oriented programming. It's summed up. Now watch the other videos and I'll go through how to do it a lot slower and go through quite a lot of sort of little details about it.